Hey, Tom here, FlipAnythingUSA. So on my channel, I share my real estate experiences, how I built my fortune in real estate, investing. Bought the first property at 19 and millionaire by 28, and of course got my book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. And today we're playing with, I got a new stream system going because we're going to do a lot more Q&A. We've been getting the studio set up. I've showed some of you the studio before. Trying to get more content out. Hey, Anne-Marie, glad you're here. Realist, always count on you. Awesome, great, more people showing up, that's great. So, I know a lot of you already have the book. Did everybody get your bonus chapter? Because that went out, that just went out. The bonus chapter just went out. Cool. David, glad you like it. Okay, good. But you got the bonus chapter, right? Because, this really is, I had somebody give me a bad book review because they said they didn't get their bonus chapter. And I think they expected it to be like inside the book. And anyways, I was trying to explain, but anyway, I got a bad book review because they didn't get the bonus chapter and they didn't seem to understand that you have to get email to get it. So I don't know. Okay, David, I think I saw your name. You should have got it. You know what? You might want to check your spam folder. Check your spam folder. But if you don't have it, feel free just to, if you got your book as little as a few days ago, you should have the bonus chapter. And if you didn't, just throw me an email direct, tom@FlipAnythingUSA.com, and I'll make sure one goes right back out to you. Hey, thanks, Devin. So yeah, any of you that are considering getting the book, you can see by the people that are on here, people love it, and it's all real. It's all real. And one thing I don't do, and I'll never do, is try to take advantage of anybody. That's really, I don't know how you're going to get the information any cheaper than this, and I don't even know anybody that can give you the same information that I give you, because mine's my life experience. But does anybody have a question? Is anybody getting close to a deal? I got to say, I kind of feel like, I told you guys I was hoping for a quick recovery. And I've got another offer today. So I think I've got 3 of the 8 houses that I put up for sale. It might be 10 houses here pretty soon. But I've got 3 of the 8 houses sold now. Or I should say, not sold. One's going to close Monday. One's going to close Friday. It appears they're going to close. I never say it's not sold until, I've got to check. But they look good. And then I have another offer today. And I'm feeling a little more empowered. I was, like I say, I was leapfrogging, right? Chapter 27, leapfrogging. That's what I've been doing because it's just safe. Remember one of my best mentors, somebody I looked up to, a role model anyways, Hank Booker. He was a real estate investor. He might be alive, he may not be. He's well into his 80s. But he always said, you can't get hurt taking a profit. You can't get hurt taking a profit. As long as you're making some money, that's okay. If they say, pigs get slaughtered, right? So I would rather take a small profit right now on those properties that I just bought, even though I'm cutting them, 15%, I'm still making money on them. And that's pretty good. It means I bought them right. It means I bought them under market. I'm able to make some money and still sell them at a discount. In fact, the one I just sold for $231, the appraisal came in at $252. So for that guy, and this is actually a friends that I'm selling it to, giving a deal to, they are very happy to have an appraisal for $250,000. I sold it to them for $231. I'm still making a little bit of money, and they feel good because they've already got about 10% equity by today. Now, I'm not saying that it's not going to drop, and I let him know too. Things could drop a little bit. But in his situation, it's ideal because he's employed right now. And if he doesn't buy a house right now while he's employed, if he gets laid off because of this COVID thing, he's not going to qualify anymore. So it's his chance, his opportunity. He's a young guy, just turned 27 actually today. He got his foot in the door, he's got a property, and it's a beaut. It really is a cool one. So I'm glad he got it. Oh, so am I saying it? Les Monets? Is that right? Les Monets? You've got a house you're selling now? And you're going to wait, you're going to kick back, wait for things to get a little slower? Okay, Robert wants to ask your thoughts on vacation rentals. Looking to purchase and rent to pay down until retirement. Lake house, I got a lake house, but I don't rent it out. But that's because I use it enough that I don't want to rent it out. I got mixed thoughts on that. Let me tell you, I'm a big fan of the beach. I stay down in Hermosa Beach, California. I go to St. Pete's. When I go to St. Pete's, I usually stay at the Don Cesar, looks like a big pink castle. I love it. But in California, I stay in Hermosa, and I stay in Manhattan Beach. I like the bars there. I like the food there. I like the scenery. It's a fun place. Great beaches too. And I rent Airbnbs there, but they've shut the Airbnbs down there. And so a lot of people, they can't even do an Airbnb because I think it's become a city ordinance that they can't do it. So a lot of these guys, bought these properties thinking they were going to get $20,000 a month out of a house that they paid $1.5 million for. And that works. Those numbers do work. But now that they're taking it away, it's not so good. Yeah, Redondo, the only thing I don't like about Redondo Beach is Redondo Beach has public parking, so the beach gets crowded. If you go to Hermosa and Manhattan Beach, the parking is crappy, and it's paid parking, the little that they have. And what that means is fewer people go, and it's a better beach, but you pay a little bit for it. But I prefer those. But I appreciate Redondo too. I kind of kicked myself. I had a couple opportunities there that I let go, and that I wish I would not have let go. Hey, so right now, can you tell me with the stream, what do you think of the quality of the image? Are things pretty good for you? And also, if you don't mind, is the audio good? Okay, yes, it's great. Both audio and video are good, correct? Good so far. Okay, good. Yeah, this is a new setup. I've been streaming everything off my iPhone all this time, and now we're using a real camera. And, we got a kind of a powerhouse server here, and we're trying to make things good. Because one of the things I'm going to do, I've been talking to you about mentoring. I've got so many mentoring requests that I've opened it up. I'm going to do some mentoring. And I've got a bunch of you emailed me. You already know. And I haven't forgot you. I'm going to send everybody an email pretty soon. One of the problems I have is I get hundreds of emails a week now. And a lot of the questions are not very, they're kind of lazy questions. They're questions that if they read the book, they'd know the answer. Or if they watched a little more videos, they'd know the answer. But the problem is I go through these, and then I'll get to one that's like time sensitive. Tom, can you call me? I got a problem. I really need help. But that's 3 days old. So the only way I can clear it out is to, A, you got to have the book, and B, if you get into the mentorship or something like that, at least it'll cut it down. I've got to try to make it real affordable to everybody. I get offered many thousands of dollars to just have even some small type of, mentoring going on. But to be honest, my goal is always to help as many people as possible. That's why if you're going to ask a question, I like it to be in a comment because I get the same question a lot of times. I get 100 questions in an email, and I just can't, I don't want to answer 100 of them one at a time. I'd rather just answer it once here, and then everybody can play it back and see it for a long time. Okay, 30 minutes from the dawn. Oh, nice. In the UK, I believe it takes much longer, more like 6 to 8 month cycle to buy and sell at best. You mean that's how long it has to sit on the market? Thanks, Keith. Great, thanks, Anne-Marie. Good. So I'm excited about this. I was going to try to do a 10 o'clock Q&A tomorrow. 10 o'clock on a Saturday is like the best time because everybody's off work. Now, I know there's a handful of people that may not work for, but when I do the mentoring, I'm going to do it 10 a.m. Central. That way, it's 11 in New York and it's 8 a.m. in California. But everybody's kind of getting it handled before noon. Cool, thanks, Keith. Yeah, I want to do it that way because, and I'm trying to get like a gold membership and a silver membership, and I'm gonna make it so that we do like a crash course where we're just gonna go through everything that's the most important thing we can go through that first month, every Saturday. In fact, because you guys are what I call founding members, I'm gonna do more like 6 weeks, because I'm figuring it out too. I'm figuring it out. I'm trying to keep the price low, and at the same time, I want everybody to walk away feeling like, okay, good, I'm ready to make a deal. I'm more intelligent, I can make a better real estate deal. And you'll still be within the forum. I have a forum being built within the website that you'll be able to go into for a full year, and I'll always be in there visiting, answering questions. And I already know what's gonna happen, because you guys will be able to answer questions for some of the noobs that come in, right? And that, have questions. You're going to know the answer yourself. And that's one of the best things. You learn more by teaching. Believe me, when I wrote this book, it made me, I'm a businessman. I don't have any fluff. I can't beat around the bush. I just don't do it. When I talk to people, I say, get to the point. I don't have the patience for it. And so, but it's a great exercise when you're teaching somebody else, because you realize you want to say the most you can in the least amount of words. And so it's been a good experience for that. Hey, Gabe, you know what? I was hoping we'd start tomorrow. And maybe we'll do a podcast. You want to do a podcast, 10 a.m.?
We could do a podcast, but who are we going to interview? You want to jump on and be interviewed?
Yeah. So, yeah, you know what? Let's do this. I'll tell you what. Everybody that's here, write me at Tom@FlipAnythingUSA, okay? And what I'll do is, some of you I assume have Zoom. What I'll do is we can do one tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And everybody that emails me, I'll send you an unlisted link, an unlisted YouTube link, because we're going to really get into some great stuff. It's not for the whole public. It's just for you guys that got the book. I don't want to get it crowded with other people that that don't have the book. So write me at Tom@FlipAnythingUSA.com, and what I'll do is I'll write you back and I'll send you the link to the unlisted video, but I'll also send you a Zoom link so that if you want to get on and talk face to face, we'll be able to do that. At least we'll try to do that, right? We'll try to make that happen. But if that sounds good, how many people here are watching right now? Give us, tell me if you're in for tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Central. So if you're in California, West Coast, that's going to be 8 a.m. and it's going to be 12 p.m. noon tomorrow. If you're in New York and that way. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. Yeah, and like I say, expect difficulties. There may be some streaming difficulties. I don't know for sure, but we're playing with it, and we're trying to make it a quality broadcast. But like I say, when I start the classes, which I think safely, maybe we can start classes next week, next Saturday, at least we'll have it dialed in. That's what I've been doing. That's why you didn't see much content come out of here this week, because I've been so busy getting the website done and getting this particular part of the studio done. And you'll see I actually got a little conference table in here now too. I got some guests, some smart guys that also I'll have on the show. Not always about real estate necessarily, but good stuff, good, just good mentality for business. It's good to be a good businessman. You gotta, you see I'm pretty harsh on the gurus. One of the reasons, I don't like, you gotta be a numbers guy. Be a numbers guy. When you're thinking about numbers all the time, when people are talking, if they talk about anything that can be calculated, you'll quickly start calculating the way that you do. And it might be how many minutes before they're done that I can leave. It could be, hey, what they're saying doesn't add up. I just did a video on Grant Cardone, a very short one. Watch it, just watch it. Please watch it. It's a short one. You draw your own conclusions and judgment. But I question the math. I didn't like the math was silly. Yeah, Robert, you must be new to the channel. It's not the focus on single-family residences. I mean, we'll talk about anything, but in general, and maybe you have the book, I don't know, but the bottom line is, I always say there's no bad real estate, there's just bad deals. I got a lot of houses. I buy houses to flip and turn. I don't like them particularly for long term, or if I do hold them, sometimes I hold some stuff a little longer. Usually it's because, this is going to be good for my son, or maybe I want to live here someday. I do some of that stuff. But in general, houses, when their value goes over $300,000, they become not such a good deal. They don't really, the return on investment goes down. Above $300,000 value, the rents don't keep up. In other words, the rents don't scale up the same with the price exactly. And so your return on investment, maybe when you first bought it might have been a 10% rate of return, and now you're hitting 5%. And maybe then you're hitting 2%. But now the house is worth $500,000, so you made a nice spread from, I got houses I'm selling for $100,000, or I'm sorry, for $500,000 and $600,000 now that I only paid $130,000 for. So I'm happy about that. But as far as keeping them for an investment, and hey, remember this. I want everybody to remember this because this is really good. This is something I coined this phrase, but it means a lot. And that is, if you're not selling it, you're buying it. Just remember that. If you're not selling it, you're buying it, right? So I look at my assets and I go, do I want to keep this? Well, if I want to keep it, it's like I'm buying it again. If somebody's willing to give me $400,000 or $1 million or $200,000, whatever, for a piece of property, I have to ask myself, do I want to keep it? Because it's like now I'm buying it. If somebody's really serious, they want to give me $400,000, then I got to go, well, if I don't sell it, it's kind of like I'm buying it again for $400,000. I'm making a determination that it's worth more than $400,000 to me. So I'm going to keep it. And I'll give you a perfect example. I've got a building right now that that somebody wants to buy. And I like this guy. He's got a lot of money. He's bought a couple other buildings in the area. And he's not in a hurry because he understands. I said, look, if I sell this thing, I got to do a 1031 exchange. I want to roll this investment into something else. And right now I don't have anything to buy. He said, that's okay. He said, we can make an agreement. And if we both on board with the price, he goes, I'll wait a few months for you. In other words, he's willing to cooperate with me in a 1031 exchange. Because what I don't want to do is close on a deal and have $1.5 million that I have 45 days to find something. I don't want that pressure right now. I don't want it because I think better deals are to be had in the future. And I'm seeing prices drop on a lot of the commercial stuff right now. Probably some of it's because of the vacancies that are happening. People are going out of business. Some are struggling. They're not making the money that they were pre-COVID. So I'm being careful. And actually, I was looking at a piece of land. That's another one. I'm kind of irritated. I don't recommend land for people that are new and don't have deep pockets. But yeah, it's just one of these things. The real estate office. I see a piece of property go up for sale. As soon as I call on this, as soon as the sign went up, it's sold. I go, what do you mean it's sold? They go, it was sold before we put the sign up. And this has happened twice with this office on 2 big properties, and I got a feeling it was an in-house sale, meaning another realtor bought it. That irritates the hell out of me because I'm not going to go there, but it smells a little bit because they have a fiduciary duty to the seller to get it out in front of everybody to get the highest possible price for their client. And if it's not going out on the open market and then somebody within the office buys it, it smells. It just smells. And believe me, there's a lot of corruption in, like I said, we talk about the fake gurus selling snake oil. You got to be careful. A lot of people, there's a lot of money, and the temptations can be great for people to compromise, in ways that they probably shouldn't. Okay, so Mr. Shell, Ciaran, I think, were those homes you are currently selling worth $180K when you bought them for $130? Yes, they were. I felt they were worth $200. I bought some for $220, and when I bought them for $220, I thought, oh, these should be $400. Yeah, pocket sale, yeah, pocket listing, and more. It shouldn't stay in the pocket if it's going to sell within the office. It needs to be out. Yeah, I don't know if it helps. I mean, it's good to be inside the office, really, and you'll learn this in my book. Listen, stay close to the realtors. They're not always going to bring you a deal, but if you let them know that I mean, one of the things I do with realtors is, I'm trying to buy a property cheap from somebody. I'm trying to talk them into selling it to me cheap. Well, I can't get anywhere. They're not going to sell it cheap. So what do? I say, hey, to a realtor, I say, hey, buddy, that sold me something, and now I'm returning the favor. I'm saying, hey, look, I got a guy that wants to sell their property. I've been trying to buy it. They won't sell it cheap enough to satisfy me, but they'll sell it. Why don't you take the listing and go sell it to somebody else? Then he gets the commission, he remembers me fondly, and everything's great. Just something to keep in mind. It's a way it doesn't cost you anything to do that for a realtor, and that realtor will remember you, and you might be the first person he remembers when something comes across his table, and you'd be the first one to make an offer on it and get it. Would you suggest studying the markets and rental comps in the meantime? Oh, always. Yeah, listen, the worst thing you can do is send out a mailing or go step on a property that's for sale and talk to the owner when you don't know what it's worth. There's nothing worse than that. You have to know value. You absolutely have to know value. And if you watch, I'll do another video. It's too painful to even think about. But I lost a beach house in Ventura that I could have got for $250,000. It was worth $450,000. And I'll never forget the owner. I called the owner, and she says to me, first, I mean, I should have gotten a hold of her. She told me she'd sell it to me. Carry a note, everything, $250,000. It was a 2-hour drive. I was busy. I was distracted. I waited 7 days or something like that. I called her up because I figured out, oh my God, this thing's a deal. Called her up, and she said, he who waits gets left at the starting gate. And I'm like, oh, this doesn't sound good. And she went on to say, I had a realtor come to me, and they told me that if they couldn't sell the property for $420,000, that he would buy it himself. And it was true. And so I was out of the picture. She had already told me the week before, I'll sell it to you for $250,000, $50,000 down, and I didn't move fast enough. I wasn't prepared. I should have just said, yes, I'll take it. But I called her before I knew what the thing was worth. It was really a freak thing. I was looking at a for sale sign on one property, and as I'm looking it down and writing down the phone number from this sign, some kid starts yelling to me, a teenager, out of another window. He said, hey, don't buy that house, buy this one. And I go, oh yeah, is it for sale? He goes, yeah, it's my mom's. My mom's selling it. I said, hey, give me your number. He screamed out the number to me, and I wrote it down. I mean, this would have been a great story if I had done it right. I wish I could tell you, made 150 grand. That would have been a great story, right? If I told you some kid, he might have been yelling at me out of a bathroom window, actually. And what a great story that would have been. I could say, yeah, I made this money, keeping my eyes open and listening. You know, that's what I always say to do anyways. And here it happened to me, and it slipped between my fingers. It's not a good story. It's painful. Because at the time, this is probably 30 years ago, more than 30 years ago. That's more than 30 years ago, okay? And believe me, at that time, I was right about a millionaire at that time. I made my first million. But let me tell you, $150,000, boom. I was heartbroken. I was upset with myself. And, and I even get upset with myself because I always think I'm the smartest guy in the room, and then something like that happens. So it's how it is. Okay, what else we got here? I like that, Gabe. It's in the book. Thanks. That's what I love. I swear I got the smartest subscribers there are. You know, you can look, you'll see people with huge followings, but, when you see the comments like, hey, I got here first, you know what I mean? What is that? We want to make money. So, hey, I'm probably going to cut this short, but let me do this. Again, if you just got here, send me an email, tom@FlipAnythingUSA.com, and write stream. Just write stream in the subject line. We didn't really talk about that. But if you would, send me the email and write stream in the subject line, because that way I can pick out all the stream. I get a lot of emails now. I'll pick out all the stream ones, and I'll return to you, and I'll give you the link to the YouTube stream, and I'll give you the link to the Zoom so that we can do a live broadcast, and I'll take your questions, and we can, we'll see each other on the screen. All right. Thank you. Man, any bank, shop banks against each other. I've used them all. I use some local ones and I use some of the big ones. Chase, Wachovia loaned me $3 million just before they went out of business. All right, Ellie. Well, Ellie, I'll be checking everything that's real recent anyways. I'll get off and I'll get on the email now. But I know you, Ellie. Don't worry. But so that's it for now. And I'll probably hide this broadcast before long just so people don't think that's a current offer. I'll get rid of it by midnight tonight, I guess. So that's it. Be sure to get the book. If you just got here, wake up and smell the real estate. Please subscribe. You got nothing but people interested in making money here and that are serious about it. And, it's a good place to be. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the morning.